Hey everyone, it's Len Romano, and welcome to my kitchen table. Got some thoughts about the COVID-19 pandemic that we're all dealing with right now. And specifically, I have 5 ideas that might help you to lead during these very unpredictable times. So let's start with idea number one. The first, the first idea that I have for you is that really it starts with you. People are watching you. They're looking for signs of how you're reacting. They're looking for calm leadership. So as you go, so do your staff. So just understand that they're looking for your reaction and how you're handling all of this. This also includes if you're leading a department. So whether you're a CEO or a department leader, it doesn't matter. The people that report to you are looking at you. So one other thing to think about during this time when you might have some anxiety is to make sure you're taking care of yourself. And if you have someone who can serve as a mentor and a sounding board, that would be very helpful for you. So consider that. So that's idea number one. Idea number two, and this is really important, and I want you to really listen to this because I know some of you probably are full speed ahead. Stop trying to control the timeline to reach normal. This is a pandemic and it's very unpredictable. So there's no way you can control how long the pandemic is going to last. What you can do, however, is take a look at and think about the new normal. Think about when you reopen and when all of your staff are back at work. What are you going to do to excite the staff? And what are you going to do to excite your constituents and your donors? So try not to manage the pandemic. Think about all of those things that you are going to do when you reopen. That way you'll be prepared for opening. The third idea I have for you goes back to, leaders sometimes feel like they're by themselves. I want you to create teams to deal with different things. So the first thing you want to do is create a niche team. Teams that have specific responsibilities for a little piece of the organization or the operations or the program. And what you want to do is assign them the authority to come up with solutions so that you can think about the strategic issues when you reopen. Also, create a leadership cabinet of your key leaders. And I would include some of those board members that are not usually on your executive committee. Include those board members that have great discernment and great wisdom, and maybe they're not involved in leadership, but they can add value to your cabinet, your leadership cabinet, and make it clear to the board that whatever the leadership cabinet comes up with, that's it, so that we don't have to go back to the board for every little decision. And speaking of little decisions, all these groups need to think about the small, critical choices that need to be made because each day is going to be unpredictable until this is over. So that's very important. The fourth idea I have for you is if you've got a restricted grant, call your program officer now. And first, to just update them on how things are going. And secondly, to find out how they're doing because they're in this pandemic as well. They do want to hear from you, but ask them if they can unrestrict any restricted grants that you have so that you can use them for operating purposes. And here's the fifth idea I have for you. Over communicate with a purpose. And by that I mean with your staff, use video conferencing, continue your staff meetings, continue your board meetings and committee meetings by video conferencing, continue your one-on-one meetings, call your major donors and find out how they're doing. Do they need any help? Let them know how things are going. And if you are doing something to respond to this pandemic, promote it in the press and send it out in social media to your constituents, to your members, to your program participants, so they know that your organization is playing a critical role during this time. Very important. And if you're not doing something to address this pandemic and be a help in the community. Think about what you can do. If you've got a parking lot, could it be used as a food distribution site, or could it be used as a drive-through testing center? Or if you've got an empty building because you're closed, can it be used as a child care center for first responders and law enforcement and healthcare workers? So think about what you can do, because after this is over, those individuals are going to remember all of this. But you can't under communicate now. You've got to over communicate, continually updating staff, board, your constituents, your donors, and the community. So these are indeed unprecedented times, and it's going to test every part of your skill level and your emotions. But when you think about this, you're in charge, and everyone is betting on you to get through this. So I wish you a lot of luck in all of this. If you need any help at all, I'm here. I'm volunteering my time. I'm taking phone calls and emails to provide free advisory services. So feel free to call on me, because I'm here. It's one way I can help. All right. So hope this has been helpful for you, and hopefully we'll see you down the road. Thanks.